Well, it's a rainy Saturday afternoon. I was scrolling Marketplace, and 2 hours later, this is what I come home with. I messaged a guy. A guy said he got about a couple hundred messages about this pit bike up there for 500 bucks. I was just the lucky one to live close, and we took this thing home. I just unloaded it out of the truck. I think it was a flip. Not a flip, but he said it was his nephew's. I didn't really use it. You can tell. He's got a brand new brake cable on it here. Brake works good, at least. It's got a brand new carb on it, Amazon junk, but it's new. It runs good. It starts first kick. Can't complain about that. He's got brand new tires on it. Those are probably eBay or Amazon special. He maybe put $100 into it, and here I am. I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna do a little compression test. He changed the oil. Oil is clean. I might dump it because I don't know if he used cheap crap. I like to have good oil in a machine like this, especially when I'm operating an almost wide open throttle all the time. But yeah, really not a bad machine. It's a little dirty. We're going to clean it up. I think this was spray painted at one point. Seat looks in good shape. I mean, definitely needs some new gas. I just smelled that bad boy, and whoo, that stinks. That stinks. But yeah, we're going to clean up this front fender a little bit. We're going to go through it. Let's see how it goes. Here we got the bike running. Not bad. Sounds pretty good at idle, but I just figured something out. I was playing around with it in the backyard. If you go slow, revs up fine, no big deal. But if you're sitting here at idle and she dies out, bogs down. A cheap Amazon carburetor, no good. I played around with the air fuel mixture and the idle control a couple times. I've tried every combination. New fuel, I can't figure it out. It's just the cheap Amazon junk. I just ordered a 20 millimeter carburetor for it. I think it's a trail bike carburetor. Should be here in a couple days. We'll throw that on and hopefully a little bit better. Get a little bit better adjustment. Running a little rich there. While we wait for that carburetor to come in, I figure we do a little oil change on this thing. I don't really know what kind of oil is in it, if it's wet clutch compatible or anything of that sort. What would an engine room video be without a little bit of AMSOIL, the good stuff? So I decided for this thing, it calls for a 1030, but I decided on AMSOIL's metric motorcycle oil there. When I went on to Power Sports on AMSOIL's website and go to 1030, they recommended 3 different oils. They had a dirt bike oil, they had this oil, and they had a 1030 ATV, UTV, pretty basic synthetic oil. But I went through all of them. The dirt bike 10W30 was not, it said recommended for separate sumps. This here is engine oil and transmission and clutch is all one oil sump. So that was out the window. Then it was between this one and the ATV, UTV. They were both wet clutch compatible. I went down to the technical specifications to kind of compare the two. This had a little bit higher TBN, which I like, a total base number, a little bit better resistance to the acids produced by the engine combustion. And it had a little bit better of anti-foaming. And I like that, especially with the high RPM of the engine. So yeah, let's get into it. Not too bad, pretty clean. I just don't know what kind of oil it is. I forgot to say it before, but this 72cc engine only takes about 19 ounces of oil. So I just got 1 quart and we should be good. Bring the bike up so it's not leaning on its side. Throw that dipstick in there. Right on the money. Look at that. Doesn't get any better than that. Perfect. Fast forward a couple days, I didn't feel like messing with that Chinese carburetor, so I went to fast50s.com and I got this trail bike carburetor. And it came with the intake manifold, an air filter, everything you need to get going here. We got the air filter there, dual foam. We got intake manifold gaskets, hardware, tool. Perfect. I don't want to have to mess with piecing everything together. We got this 20mm carburetor, performance carburetor. So stock on these things is a 17. I went with this 20 just for a little extra power, and it's also upgradable, they said. So I can put different size jets if I decide to do an 88cc big bore kit in this thing, or a 108 or whatever I decide to do. This thing is capable of handling all that extra power. So got the carburetor there. It's nice to give us a new fuel line. I'll definitely use that. Little sticker. And throttle cable as well. That's perfect. That's very important when you order these, depending on what kind of throttle you have. I have the stock, so I just got the stock. This will bolt right up, no problem. All right, let's get it installed. So let's get this carburetor on. Really important, the sequence of events here with the gaskets. I just had to call them because I was a little confused on how they go in this setup. So you're gonna do gasket on the head. You're gonna put this heat shield right here. It's supposed to block the heat going from the engine right up into the carburetor. They don't know if it works, but it's here, so we're gonna use it. You're gonna do another gasket on top of that, right there, this paper gasket. And then you put the small side. See that small part of the intake manifold? And this one's a little larger. Small one goes to the head. Bigger one goes right to the carburetor. And we're gonna get that all bolted down. So we got this intake manifold on. These are the longer bolts. You're gonna need them that come with the kit to go through the spacer and the gaskets. So we're gonna try and get this all together. This is gonna be a little tricky. What you're gonna wanna do is put on the nut for the top of the carburetor. Little sequence of events here. This is going to go on next. You know, the cable pop through, right? And the thing here is going to be, we got to put this spring on and compress it and keep it compressed. You're going to want the cable sticking out the other end of the spring, the middle of it. And then we're going to try and slide on the slide. And then this will go into the carburetor. It fought me a little bit, but we finally got it on there. I just kind of threw it together. I got the fuel line back on. I wanted to put a fuel filter. I definitely will eventually get a fuel filter on this. I'll put the air filter on it a little bit. I just want to kind of test it out and see what we did everything right. It was a little tight with the cable. I might have to make an adjustment on the idle, but we'll see. Maybe it's good. Who knows? Got the spark plug boot back on, and we're gonna get over a rep here. Fuel on. Full tank. basically what we got going on here is if I, just from idle, I just give it just bobs, which I'm sure you can hear. I can't figure out, I want to say it's kind of like, if you lean into it though, like just crack it like that, she runs pretty good, but it's that low idle speed adjustment. So I actually just ordered a couple of jets and main jets and pilot jets. We're going to play around with this thing a little bit. I think that air filter might have something to do with it, and the pipe that it's got on it, free flow pipe. So we're going to play around with it here and see if we can get it dialed in. I'm ready to rip. So here's the two jet kits I ordered from fast50s.com. It's made by trailbikeparts.com. This is the pilot jet kit here. It comes with a 30, 32, and a 38. Stock is a 35. And here is all different main jets. I think 87, 88, 90, 92. Stock is an 89. So what's in there right now should be an 89 and a 35. So I spoke to someone online about what I could do about my bogging issue, and he suggested that these XR70s really respond well to a 90 and a 38. So I think I'm going to take those both out and give them a shot. 1.5 turn out on the air fuel mixture screw on the carb, and he said that's a pretty good baseline to start from, and you shouldn't have too many issues with the minor modifications that I have done to the bike. So we're going to try that out and report back.